Hi everyone, it's Peter from PS Sound. Before I jump into the introduction of this stunning video, I gotta share a couple of very important things for you. It's been a while since I faced you guys on YouTube and I shared dates and locations with you where you can see us. This week, coming up on the 20th of September, we will have an EMA competition in UK. So if you live in the UK, then check out, probably Facebook is the best contact place for EMA UK, where you can find the location in Coventry at Pure Customs, where we will have quite a big turnout for the upcoming competition. I will also try to take as many short videos to share with you guys, just like I did at SVR, so you will see the level of cars we have in the UK. That's quite a level, so yeah, I'm really excited how many videos I can share with you guys. Then a couple more dates, very important dates for you. I'll be at the EMA China finals. If some of you are over there, then you will be able to see me over there as well. I'm gonna go to Alabama, Birmingham, to the World Finals. They like to call it in America. So you will be able to see me there too. We will try to share many videos from there as well with you. And I'm gonna be at the Asian finals back in China in November too. Check out the dates in the description. I will have a list and you will see where you can see me. And probably the most important thing is that we will have a masterclass in Vegas, in USA, between the 21st and 24th of October. A 4-day, usual crazy 60-hour flat-out masterclass, training how to design the system, how to install it, and how to tune it to a master level. 25th, right after the training, we will have a sound quality meeting. So if you are in the area, come and join us. We will have a lot of fun. We still have to finalize the location. Probably we will be the same location we were last year, but I will share the information with you closer to the date. All right, so this tour at Audiotec Fischer is rather special. I've been waiting for this for quite long, and finally we could make it. Just like last year, I was lucky enough to visit Thomas Hoffman at Micro Precision and see his factory. In this one, guys, you will see something very special. I don't think Audiotec Fischer is a brand that most of you don't know, never heard of. They are definitely now expanding like crazy. And the products that they deliver to the market are very groundbreaking. They get many awards for a good reason, and you will see how professional they are, how they work so efficiently. They really feel like a family, and I felt really good. I felt really good over there. You will see why. Just like everything we do, we try to aim for the best. Whether it comes to our installation, whether it comes to delivering best sounding cars for competition daily, fulfilling all the requirements clients have. What these guys do in the factory as well, it's amazing. So I don't even drag it for any longer. Enjoy the upcoming video. I'm gonna walk around with Julian and you will feel like you are following us. We try to share as much as we could within the time frame. We didn't have too much time, but this should be amazing for all of you guys, so check it out. How many years have you been here?
This building is from 1996, the initial part.
Wow.
And in 1990, Audiotec Fischer was founded. In the first 6 years, we were at the neighbor village, and then in 1996 we moved in here. 2003, 14, and 19 we extended this building.
Let's go in.
And then
let's have a look around. So this is the office section, a part of it by the looks of it. So, okay. So what's happening here?
So this is our European and German sales office. So the first part here of the building is mostly offices. Mm-hmm. We have the marketing department upstairs. We have our purchasing department and quality management. Mm-hmm. International sales on the opposite side.
Everybody close. This is good to have everybody in-house.
For sure. All the departments, another international sales. Mm-hmm.
How many countries do you deal with?
Currently 67.
Wow. You also had a nice map for that.
Yeah, it's in the office in front.
Over there. Okay, we don't go back now.
So we have our technical service department right now under work.
And that's also great to know that you have your in-house service department, because not many manufacturers have that. They outsource it, and that's when problems happen. But here, yeah, everything is in place. Yeah, it's amazing to see.
Yeah. Repairing, testing, everything.
And the other good thing is that you don't see piles of things waiting for service, right? Because it's a bit like Lexus.
Yeah.
Over there, the engineers are just smoking all day.
So this is the heart of Audiotec Fischer.
Oh, yeah.
As all our cool things are produced here.
That's when magic happens. So how many guys do you have working right here?
In the production 8 in total we are 40 people. And with the 8 people here we are producing between 300 and 500 devices each day.
Wow. That's very efficient.
Yeah. It has to be, we are in Germany, so
It's all well thought out.
but beside efficiency for sure we are making sure that we are producing on the highest quality level possible. So when it comes to electrical testing today, we are producing a lot of the 8 Ultimates. We are always doing a 100% inspection of all important details, technical parameters, stability, temperature testing, power testing on every single unit we are producing. We are using an audio precision unit to verify all the measurements. So typically an R&D measurement tool to check the audio quality of a device. We are using it here for inline production testing. In total, we have 8 audio precisions here to do inline production testing, and then and we are doing a semi-automated testing for each device. So when you first look to it, we are scanning a laser engraved QR code on the PCB, which makes every single unit identifiable and unique. You see it here. And behind this QR code, we have retraceability on component level. So when we could check when we purchased this component, on which package it was coming in, for example, if it comes in a package of 2,000 capacitors, we could also retrace in which amplifiers the other 1,999 got installed.
Nice.
Then we are doing an extensive signal quality testing, so THD, THD plus N, frequency response, signal to noise ratio, intermodulation, crosstalk, output power, thermal stability, so we can measure the conductivity between the PCB and the heatsink. We do every single test which is possible with an audio precision to verify that the customer gets exactly the result they are expecting. When there's any single deviation, the product gets sorted out, gets replaced, but if it has a golden Audiotec Fischer sticker, we can be sure that it passed all tests and is as perfect as possible. And at the end, we are creating a PDF test report for each device. So, for example, for an V8 Ultimate, it's roughly 70 pages full out of test documentation, how the unit performed.
Yeah. Bit crazy, but that's the way. That's the only way.
Yeah, as we are shipping around the world, we want to make sure that not a single device needs to be sent back.
And that's why I said earlier, it's good to see that in the repair department. You don't have much happening.
It's really good to see. And we are producing DSP Pro MK3 today as well. Again, and then some OEM amplifiers on the other two measurement desks.
The guys are busy, that's for sure.
Everything is documented, compliant with ISO 9001 standards.
And I can see you have several testing benches, so the guys can simultaneously test several products.
So right now we have 4 lines in this room and 1 line in the Brax production department to do the same style and quality of testing simultaneously.
Yeah, because as you mentioned, the Brax is built in a separate room.
Yeah,
We've got to check that one out as well.
that's a completely different story than here. So it's much more work. Oh, today I think.
Maybe he's off today.
He's off, but we can
Look around. So this is where the finest quality pieces are getting made. If I remember, you mentioned that you have a single person making every single Brax product, right?
Yeah, he's doing this since 28 years. So he built from the very first Brax amplifier in 1997 to the current ones, every single Brax product available in the market. And yeah, we still have the full history here. So from 1997, we have a certificate from every single amplifier. So when we go back in time to the 5th of June 1997, we can see that an X2000 serial number 18 was sent to Japan. We see the transistor selecting numbers as we do a lot of device testing before the production. We can still see what components were installed in the amplifier. So as the Brax products have lifetime warranty for the first owner. And if the first owner sends it back, we can still repair it for free. For sure, if other customers own it, we always offer repairs. And as you see, 1 page per Brax product, so we have already sold a few.
Over the years. Hopefully you have digital savings of all of that. Yeah, that's beautifully organized and very, very tidy. Unfortunately, he's not here today. Yeah, that would have been amazing to see.
He has 1 year left, and then he's going to retire. So
what's the plan? What's the plan after that? He's gonna.
If we will let him.
I see.
Let's see.
But I'm sure you have somebody.
Yeah.
For backup after that.
Yeah.
Somebody's gonna do this dream job, building some of the best of the best in a peaceful environment.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's amazing.
Okay.
Where are we going next? So now we are entering. Looks more like warehouse area.
Warehousing, yeah, to come to the new neighbor building where we moved our R&D department to. Another warehouse, as well as our new competence center and workshop. This is still where goods output section.
Yeah, last time we didn't come.
Yeah, through
This way. Okay.
So this is production material, goods output. Yeah.
So now you're planning to link the next building the same way.
Yeah. So 2 years ago we had the possibility to cut this hole into our own building, and then 3 years ago we started a new building here. It's exactly the same size as the old building, but for sure much more modern. As everything is controlled here through a smart home bus system, very energy efficient. So we have the heat pump here, solar energy. Everything's super automated here.
Yeah, I could tell as soon as we stepped in, the lights came on automatically. Switches, you're not. We even have
Floor heating here, so to make sure that
even the products are not put out to moisture.
no.
None of it.
For sure, they need to work in that environment, but to make sure that everything here is, the conditions are as stable as possible.
Yeah, these days many manufacturers struggle with not having enough stock, not having enough supply. It doesn't look like it's the problem for you.
No.
Yeah, plenty of stock of everything. Do you ever have the problem that you run short of something?
Yeah, for sure. This is depending especially when we launch new products, the first market search is very unpredictable usually, but at the end we are using a very powerful ERP system, so the planning is usually right in time. But it's not always unavoidable, especially as we are growing a lot, so you
now
never know.
You deal with so many more products. How many products do you have now?
Right now, roughly 500.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Pretty difficult.
I think we've used quite many, and we had a good view at your product line, but I didn't realize that the number is so high. Wow.
That's why we need so much space here.
Yeah, and you need more. This is the thing. Originally, the company at the beginning started with amplifiers, right?
Yeah. Yeah, in the very beginning with capacitors, so my dad invented the power stabilizer for cars. That was the first journey before my dad had a home audio company. Then in 1997 he thought of bringing high-end amplification to car audio. That time in the middle of 90s there were not really high-end amplification.
And then things have developed now to a whole new level. Is there any product that's missing from the portfolio? Like maybe speakers, amps,
we're still
subs,
missing two
boxes.
big parts like cables, dampening, but in our current portfolio probably the subwoofer lineup is not that extensive right now, but on the electronic side, processing, speaker side, we have options for everyone.
You have really expanded the OEM integration side, looms, all those things that are really helping the dealers to have an easy life and an easy installation, which is great. Yeah, okay, let's carry on, let's see. So this is where you're printing all the brackets. How many types of brackets do you have?
Right now we have roughly 80 different types of brackets, doing 3 batches a day. So a lot of printing here is happening here. This allowed us to reduce the time to market for speakers, for directed speakers, a lot. And as well have even options available for cars which are not that common, or even trucks. We are only printing with ASA, as it's the best material for automotive use, as it has a wide temperature range. It's petrol and oil resistant, which is important in the car as well. But it's a little more difficult to print as it's hydrophil, so it prints water. So we need to take care a lot on humidity management, ventilation in the room, as well as using an own style software for monitoring the printer state as well as humidity and temperature, to make sure that the printing quality is always
Consistent. Yep. And then you're looking at expanding this, as I can see.
Yeah, so the room is already built for 72 printers, so electrical wiring, fusing, energy management, everything is prepared for this. We started with 6 printers and then we are trying to scale and industrialize this process, and it's, as everything, it has a pretty steep learning curve to really get consistent, excellent results. Yeah. Goes out there, but we are not pushing the warm air outside. We are moving it through a cross heat exchanger, taking fresh air from outside, and then warming up the Competence center with the waste heat from here. Otherwise, because printers efficiency is not that big, creates a lot of waste heat, and we want to utilize it as best as
It's
possible.
free power. Yeah, absolutely.
So that's, yeah, right now
Extra space.
we are preparing a small show here for electric cars in 2 weeks. So we are setting up booth styles and testing out things, but usually this is our workshop area where we bring in cars, work on cars, test new equipment. It's directly connected to our R&D department upstairs, so we have direct links so we can test new software versions here. Compiling, we're doing small trainings here together with dealers, installer trainings.
That's why you have space for the cars, all the cars that
Yeah.
you mentioned. You can put them in.
So we can bring here up to 5 cars for listening, DSP tuning. Of course, have our own workshop area here as well. CNC router and a dirt room here as well.
It's perfect. It's absolutely perfect.
Okay. And then upstairs.
Okay, so this is a new space.
Yeah. Right now we are building a new production here, which is roughly 4 times bigger than the current production, to scale this part as well.
Well, if you have 500 products, then you definitely need more room.
Yeah, it's directly connected to the warehouse through an elevator. And more important, it's exactly opposite the R&D department, so whatever our guys develop will be produced here, and both departments need to be as close as possible
What's
together.
going to happen with the other side?
We will rework it into a quality management department, as we have more and more incoming small parts, goods, which needs to be tested.
Okay.
So will be mainly used for
More control.
quality inspection at the input side.
And here we come. Nice office space. So what happens here?
This is our R&D meeting room to discuss all the ideas, visions and products we have in mind. And then here, the neighbor department, we have our R&D here. So from Stefan is doing all the construction things, so whatever has to do with extrusion, die-cast aluminum parts, 3D printing, ABS injected parts, as well as product management as for compose and the electronics. Stefan is doing, then we have Robin's desk here with our technical director for OEM products and DSP hardware. He's right now working from home. We have Florian and Michael here for DSP PC tool programming, the front-end programming. So Florian is programming the software since 2011, so every single code line
He's been very busy. That's for
which
sure.
is in that software is written by him. And then 2 years ago we hired Michael. who's a senior software engineer for refactoring and renewing the software, bringing it to the next evolution stage. And then we have Magnus and Philip here, who are the connection between front-end user interface and electronics. So they are taking care on the microcontroller programming, hardware operating, hardware testing. So Magnus programmed the Eco platform. Here it's also similar to the DSP-PC tool and project, which is very extensively as the Eco platform is a coprocessor which is integrated in all our DSPs since 2018, and where we programmed our own operating system for, which then can be updated anytime we want to. Philip is also constantly testing all the new prototypes and devices, making sure that the new developments are on the right track. And then Stefan, our longest hardware engineer, who's doing all the Brax amplifiers from class AB to standalone DSPs to DSP amplifiers, all the phenomenal layouts and schematics for the best amplifiers in the world. So
That's just crazy. Yeah, it's crazy.
yeah. And then, right now we are designing the next generation of our match amplifiers, as well as new standalone DSPs and DSP amplifiers. Constantly using the latest automotive design rules, as well as multi-layer PCBs. So most of all our products are using 6 or 8 layer PCBs, as you could see here, with all these colorful layouts. And then we have another full testing station to do the first prototypes, the testing, including destructive testing. So we need to verify that everything works properly. For sure, also a lot of spectrum analysis, as EMI is a big topic in modern cars, as we need to make sure that we are not influencing any other car electronics as well.
Okay, where are we going after this?
Here we're just building a test room. It's not finished yet, but we have an EMC test chamber, as well as vibration testing, heat testing. So this will be in our own laboratory for product and testing, to make sure that we fulfill all these strict automotive standards. Right now we are constantly using an external laboratory, but
Better to keep everything in-house.
the loop, the time we need for this loop is pretty long, so we want to implement it in-house as well. These are all our prototypes, from existing products also to products which have never made it to the market, as well as interesting microphone arrays. So whatever we are testing or having in mind, we build. So roughly only 1/3 of the developments are really coming to market. If they
Who decides what comes? You?
For sure. And at the end, sometimes, the performance is not where what we were expecting, or the MI is not working. Sometimes it's too expensive to produce, so it's a phenomenal product, but it will not fit to the market demands. We're experimenting a lot with new technologies, like constantly building all available amplifier technologies, testing them, if it's GAN amplifier setup or chip amplifiers or discrete class D amplifiers. Always looking through the market and to new ideas how to improve sound quality in cars.
So this is the last part.
Yeah.
The last part. Another beautiful space. Yeah, you realized a long time ago that training is the key, because so many manufacturers have amazing equipment, but you have to train people how to use it. So how many weeks is this space occupied in a year?
Probably 30 weeks.
Half of the
Half
time.
of the year we roughly have one training a week. In some weeks we have two. Hosting between 10 and 50 people here, depending on the topic.
Wow.
And then doing product trainings, DSP trainings, 3D printing, marketing, sales, all that. So, car audio is not getting easier with all the modern cars and the technologies, and for sure also the possibilities which are available. So today when you look to an 18-channel DSP amplifier, someone has to tune that as well, and that's not a simple task anymore.
And this has changed the game. Like 10 years ago, this was not so available for dealers, was it?
Yeah.
And as you are looking for the demand, you really invested a lot in the match line. Most funny thing is most people think that the match line you have is not such a high-end product. They completely misunderstand the concept, and I have to explain to people that it's not about necessarily the price tag. Of course, these have to be built for a value as well.
Yeah.
But in an OEM integration system, what these things can do, so this is a 10-channel amplifier with 11-channel DSP, right?
Correct. Yeah, when
It's
you look
handful size, it's crazy how small it is and what it does. It's insane.
But when you look to the hardware, it's very similar to an Helix amplifier. So most people think it's the lower line. So
Exactly, it's not.
Lower
It's
quality
just for the plug and play
but
field.
from an amplification standpoint, it uses the same amplification concept than in the V12 and V18. The DSP chipset is exactly the same. There's an eco platform inside, so it's more like a very precise product for one application, where Helix amplifier is a very universal concept. Like you have high level, low level inputs, extension card slots. You can freely decide what application it should fit. The match range is just tailored to one specific application, and this is upgrading
Even in
sound systems.
the match range now, you have so many options, so many different channel numbers, sizes. How many do you know?
Currently we have 7 amplifiers in the match range, but there are coming more.
And the good thing is, that was a time when I was always saying that it would be good to have a match range tiny little monoblock as well.
Yeah.
And that also happened. Yeah, they are tiny, and they do everything.
We have over 100 ready-fit cable harnesses. So this is, for example, a cable harness for Volkswagen. So it's just you plug it in, you connect it to your head unit, and then
Tuck this one away.
most of the installation is done if you really just want to upgrade your factory sound system. For sure, if you're going into the more detailed world, there's no limit at all.
And then here you have a nice display of the products. Some, not all 500.
No.
But this is a subsection, and you mentioned that this is where you feel like.
Yeah, we are still working on that.
Yeah.
So next year we will see some more additions. Our brand new subwoofers made a nice addition, as they are super versatile, high power subwoofers.
That's the dust cap.
With a tunable mass system,
Yeah.
so you can decide if it should be installed in a sealed or vented enclosure. So we have the possibility to control the QTS of the subwoofer, the
changing the
resonance
moving mass.
frequency. So depending if it needs to fit somewhere, you have adjustability, as well as you can tailor it to the customer's preferences.
Yeah, this way you don't have double the amount of products.
Exactly.
Because back in the day, there was a model like this from Infinity.
Yeah, but it was different. They changed the pole piece, but here we are just changing the moving mass, and moving mass only influences the resonance frequency, the QTS, and the sensitivity. And for sure, you're trading always something. So mostly you are trading efficiency, so you can play lower but not as loud as before, and you need more power. On the other side, you have the possibility to make a perfect sealed enclosure with a good impulse response, or you go without weights and use it in an vented enclosure to get the maximum out of it.
And this is another new line that came on the market not a long time ago, right?
Yeah.
CI range.
2023 we launched our Compose platform, which was a completely new idea of thinking about speaker integration. Yeah. Also trying or developing speakers which perfectly fit into a specific application. So the best example is always the mid-range. We bought all the mid-ranges in the market from the OEM manufacturers. So we bought a mid-range from Tesla, from Audi, Mercedes, BMW, measured the minimum dimensions a speaker needs to have, and then developed one perfect mid-range speaker for that application.
And this way you have different.
It can be converted to a BMW speaker very easily. So now it fits to the BMW OEM location, but it also can be converted to a Mercedes speaker. Like in this way, it's a center speaker with the knobs facing down, but you can also reverse the mounting to install it into the door panel.
Yep.
And it gives a lot of flexibility.
Helps a lot, because especially with new cars where you have this option, then people would always have to change their speakers when they move to a new car.
Exactly.
And then now they can keep the speaker, just change the mounting.
Yeah, and the speaker design, we could, when you develop a car-specific speaker like we had before under our match range, usually when you're designing a Mercedes speaker, you are designing a speaker for one application, and you have a specific amount of time available for the development and for the market size. So usually in development of a direct fit speaker takes 9 to 12 months. And then it needs to be done, otherwise the return on investment, the break even will be pretty difficult. But for these we had 3 years time, because we knew we are not developing a speaker for one car, for one build year properly. Maybe this will have a very limited market, but here we had much more time, so we invested in a clipper measurement system. The development of this speaker took 3 years just to make it as perfect as possible, because we knew we will be able to install it in any car. So the market for it was much bigger.
You also have new editions coming soon.
Yeah, a very tiny wideband speaker, which plays from 300 Hertz to over 20 kilohertz, which will fit into all the OEM dash installations, where we are seeing more and more from Toyota and the American brands, two-way systems with a wideband speaker, and for sure even in the aftermarket custom pillar installations, a wideband gives you always the big advantage to have a point source as a signal source. We are coming with a new mid-range speaker here. All use technologies from the Brax line, so we are seeing here.
That's another interesting concept, something a bit new. So what's the story behind this exciter?
We had big OEM projects in for caravanning, and in caravanning the space in the living room is always very limited, and most of all accessory suppliers want to have that space. So we thought of, okay, we will not get a 3-liter, 4-liter housing for a speaker, because there needs to be a shelf or any other accessory which might be more important. So our idea was to convert surfaces into speakers. So by mounting this exciter on the back side of a shelf panel, we can convert the shelf or
To become the cone,
to
to
become
vibrate.
a speaker. Together with DSP and making the exciter completely automotive compliant, we delivered solutions where we could transform a full room, living room, into an acoustical area. The cool thing with exciters is they don't
tried it yet, but yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah, they do a completely different sounding than the speaker because they are not a point source, which means you're getting
The whole panel, maybe
a wide dispersion area, which makes it more like
But
a
then it
room filling
requires
sound.
quite
It's not high
testing.
end.
Yeah, but it is testing what surface reacts to it differently.
It's the most extensive part when installing speakers, making sure that not everything is rattling.
So this is where we can see a few more of the match line.
Yeah. So basically right now we have the 6-channel, 8-channel and 10-channel. 10-channel is also available as a 24-volt option for European trucks. And then we have our tiny Match M5.4, which even can run from the OEM power wiring behind the head unit, as the load simulation we have in here reduces the current consumption of the head unit by roughly 70%. So we have 15 amperes left from the OEM wire harness together with a Class HD amplifier here.
And that's enough for that.
We have enough to make a very fast installable small plug and play system.
And then probably this is the strongest part that you are now well known of.
Yeah.
The DSPs and the DSPMs. What's the highest selling model? What would you say?
Mostly P6, V8 and now V12. So we are seeing a strong demand of higher channel count amplifiers. So these are the best selling models. For sure also standalone DSPs, but in the OEM upgrade section, DSP amplifiers really are the key.
The V8 has been the highest selling for us.
Yeah.
Because it gives freeway, 2 channels for rear fill. And then now you made the Ultimate, which is crazy because you have the extra 6 channels that people can configure anyway. However, there are new additions on this that you didn't have before, and it's very powerful and people need to know because most people don't realize, like what else you can do with the USB, for example, on this, right?
Yeah.
It's giving now more than what people ever thought that it would be possible, because now you can use the USB also for source.
Exactly. So we are calling it USB Perfect Stream. So the USB input is not only for DSP PC tool programming anymore, but we have also an bidirectional audio interface integrated into the amplifier. So it can give you readings of your incoming signal. So whenever you want to analyze your high-level input signal, you can just read it out without an external loopback or anything else. And on the other side, it also acts as a signal source input. So similar to Bluetooth and our former USB audio streaming module you could plug into the extension card slot, you can now directly connect your mobile phone to the USB port and play audio in lossless high resolution.
But at the moment, it doesn't give you charging for the phone yet.
No charging.
Yeah.
This
Are you
will
working on that?
Yeah, there will be an option for the extension card, which offers USB streaming and charging as well.
And there's another new addition that we have to mention because this looks really exciting. This is not on the market yet, is it?
It is.
It is now?
Since 2 weeks, roughly.
Okay.
Or 1.5 weeks.
I travel too much, I don't follow. So you have the
brand new.
V2, which I always said it would be amazing to have a similar looking, as it's exactly the same size as the V8 2-channel amp. And this is also a new cool feature.
Yeah, so instead of having all the controls by potentiometers, which can drift, we decided to make it digitally. So we added a microcontroller, and we have the gain adjustment, the mono stereo input configuration, as well as the ground reference put on a small panel. So you can adjust your gain here manually. And what's really cool, we have an automatic gain adjustment. So you play our input gain signal through your system and press this button for 3 seconds, and we are muting the outputs and automatically adjusting the gain to the perfect.
Oh, what's going to happen
flipping
now when people
point.
keep asking how do you set up the gain? Oh, they won't have that question anymore. Oh my
And
god.
after we set it up correctly, for sure you have the option to increase the gain a little, because we are doing the 1% THD point, but for sure, as it's a bridgeable amplifier,
You can use it for a sub.
and you want to use it for a sub, no distortion, and 1% DHD is typically not loud enough, so you can then manually increase the gain as well.
And when we get to the last part, the finest part, probably most people got to know you long time ago, many years ago, because of the Brax range, because not, as you said, not many manufacturers were delivering high-end quality to the cars. And then you have taken it to a whole new level. Especially now, probably what we should show, although many people have seen and heard about your latest edition of amplification. So what's the story behind the Revelation amps?
Yeah, so with Brax, we are always looking for the best technologies available in the market. So with the MX4 Pro, we had the best Class AB technology we could develop. So we have a THD of 106 dB, but in fact, this big unit is more and more hard to integrate in modern cars. So we were looking for a technology which delivers the same sound quality, the same performance, and the same emotions, but is much smaller. And before, we are invested a lot of time into developing our own Class D technologies, but there's a point where the last 2-3% just take a tremendous amount of time and knowledge. So we decided to look around the market for other technologies. And as we have a very close cooperation with Texas Instruments, we knew the engineers from Texas Instruments in the beginning when we started with our first P6 amplifier. And then they informed us that they founded a new company, which is Purify.
Yes.
And Purify, their full passion was to develop a Class D concept, which is not only as good as Class AB, but their goal was to outperform, to be better. So during their development, they showed us from time to time their results. And when they finished their first development of the Eigentakt technology, they sent us a demo board, which showed that the end where Class AB ends, that they surpassed this point. So in terms of frequency response, for sure all the technical parameters, but also the acoustical parameters. So here we have now an amplifier with a THD plus N of 116 dB, which is roughly 10 dB better than the best Class AB amplifier we had. And on the other side, it uses a post-filter feedback. So it negates the only disadvantage of Class D amplifiers. A Class D amplifier always needs an output filter behind the speaker output, so to use it as a low-pass filter. And this low-pass filter interacts with the speaker impedance. And the post-filter feedback in this design, the Eigentakt technology, completely eliminates the interaction between speaker impedance and amplification. And in the beginning, this technology was only made for home audio. So it had a very small temperature range. It needed a symmetrical power supply. But in the car, we have a lot of fluctuating voltage. We have EV cars. So developing this together with Purify took another 3 years after they developed their home audio technology. Together with us, we made it automotive compatible, so we extended the temperature range. We added more feedback lines behind the output filter, as we are using relays to disconnect the outputs for safety functions. We made this amplifier together with them completely automotive.
And the crazy thing is, this is just the beginning.
This is just the beginning.
Because now this is a new technology, just like Class D was a new technology many, many years ago. So just like in car manufacturing, new technology usually filters down.
Yeah.
And it's going to be exciting to see where maybe this level one day ends up in a match size amplifier.
We will see some interesting things definitely next year.
What can we say about the Brax speaker situation? Where are you guys now with the speakers?
As you're seeing, here is still one speaker missing.
Yeah.
So we have the new ML28 Pro. This is still an old ML3 because the ML80 Pro and ML160 Pro are right now in production. So we will see them in the next 3 to 4 weeks. The first production, and then
what can we say about the new ML3 Pro? It's not gonna be a dust cap version. It's gonna be a face plug.
We changed it to a face plug version, which slightly increased the resonance frequency, but for sure lowered the cone weight, which makes the
mid-range extension.
The better high frequency extension, as well as a better impulse control. And we don't need to mess with the dome breakup frequencies. For sure, it will be a better version than the ML3, and that's why it took so long.
Which was already an amazingly performing mid-range.
Phenomenal speaker, or it is up to today, but when we do these kind of super high-end products under the Brax range, we don't have any development timing for it. So, for example, the MX4 took 7 years in development, the Revelation took 3 years in development. The Brax DSP, the first idea was from 2012, and it was launched in 2019.
Yes,
so
I remember
with Brax we are starting to develop a product, and we bring it to the market when we say, okay, it's perfect from our point of view. We have no idea how to improve it. It's, in our opinion, uncompromisingly perfect. So
when you say you don't know where to push it any further, where are we with the Brax DSP?
Still at the same point. So we are at the limits what right now the chips, the available semiconductors, the audio technology can do. As we are module based, we have the opportunity to use to launch new analog output modules with ESS converters in last year.
Which is very, very noticeable. But we jumped, 10 years in technology?
Yeah.
So that was
the
very
AKM
obvious.
converters we used before were from 2015 roughly. Now 10 years later, for sure, then they are better VA converters. In beginning of next year, we will also see new AD converters from ESS on the input side. And whatever we see, when there are new DSP chipsets, when we see there's an improvement for the main board as well, for sure, everything in this device is fully updatable as it's
modular. That's why it was great that even if you started the project 12 years ago, I guess you went through several ideas, but it's good that it ended up modular. So this way,
I think we had built up roughly 50 different concepts for it before we came to this full modular based idea. And up to today, there are still different other module slots integrated which haven't been used yet. So,
but it's future proof.
Whenever there's a future idea, we made sure that whatever comes into our mind, it could be added into this unit as well. Because it's a huge investment, so customers need to really be ensured that it will last forever.
This is what I always tell to people when something new comes to the market and they say, this is the best. How can you say that when it just came onto the market? Because it won so many competitions. But I'm like, well, competition is probably what, 1% of the market, really? But many people make a judgment based on that. I'll give it 5 years, we will see where it is. Because then also reliability comes into action.
Very, very important topic.
We had so many products in the past. Yes, maybe they did something really well, but then there were so many problems with them that you just couldn't put up with that.
Yeah, the automotive environment is a completely different thing than consumer electronics for home audio.
Maybe, yeah, those products work perfectly fine in a house, but in the car.
In a house, a typical consumer electronic component has a temperature range of 5 to 55 degrees. This is the temperature range. In automotive, we need to use components from minimum -20 to +85 degrees, or even better, -40 to +125 degrees, which is a very, very much more demanding specification. So also the amount of available components which are available is very limited. We want to make sure, as we give lifetime warranty, that it really lasts forever.
Yeah, you have definitely a nice range of equipment. And the great thing is that you also listen to the users, and you always keep developing, looking at what more people need, which some people in the industry definitely push. Like I have given few new ideas. What could be done.
We appreciate that always a lot, because
what could be done.
In the afternoon I'm going upstairs and discuss all the ideas with our engineers, and this is a cool thing, as we have everything in-house instead of outsourcing software development or hardware development.
It happened with many products we faced in the last 10 years, that your suggestions just fall on deaf ears, and so many manufacturers are sent A4 pages of things that, guys, this doesn't work so well, this could be improved, and then they don't even send you a reply that thanks, nothing, and nothing really happens. But yeah, we had little issues with the SPs here and there, and you always had a new version coming out. Like with the Helix DSPs, how many updates have you had on the PC tool?
Probably 100 roughly. And since 2018, since we use the ACO platform, we even standardized the microcontroller software as well, which means there are hundreds of thousands of DSPs in the market, and we can really update them all at once at the same time. So that's why DSP PC Tool 6 could be designed in a way that it's backwards compatible to all devices starting from 2018 and up. And as long as there's not a hardware limitation, we will deliver updates as long as possible for all our devices.
That's amazing. In addition to your product line, which we have to show, because every manufacturer is working hard on measurement systems, and now you have done something crazy here as well in this department, because then now you have this as well as that. So, that's quite a rig. So what can we know about the situation with all this now?
Yeah, we wanted to offer an audio interface which is simple to use and covers all the measurement applications we see right now in the market. For sure,
you can take that one out.
They are super complex measurement systems, multi-microphone arrays, which are already there, but we want to bring out a very simple interface. So it's an USB powered stereo audio interface with a stereo input and a stereo output. You can connect a microphone to it. The tuning kit directly comes with a made in Germany biodynamic MM1 microphone, but if you already have a microphone, or if you
can use that too,
have your own favorite microphone brand, you can just buy the interface. And then we have an line input. The line input can use our advanced input signal analyzer on all the DSPs by connecting the last RCA output to this line input. But this line input can also be used together with this adapter for a high-level measurement. So whenever you need to check what's coming out of an OEM amplifier, just use this adapter, plug it in here, and then even without using an amplifier or without needing to install an amplifier, you can directly see what's coming out of the OEM amplifier. And last but not least, you have also a loopback function here, which sends the right output signal back to the input of the interface, so it allows you to do phase measurements with an software like RU as well.
And you also supply the USB, which you have files on.
Exactly. So you get your USB stick with your tuning tracks like correlated pink noise, input gain signal, ATM. You're getting a USB cable from C to C or with an USB-A adapter to connect it to any laptop, and it's also UAC compliant, which means you can also connect it to your iPhone or Android phone with USB-C, and then start a small RTA app on your phone as well to do a very quick checkup as well. As Smart is available as a phone app as well. It's pretty handy to do that for a quick check.
This is going to be super powerful when people get familiar with it.
Yeah, and the last update, what we launched last week, DSP C-Tool 6108, it has already the first functions in it, that it automatically detects the any device, automatically configures it correctly, even changes the Windows sound adjustments, that everything is just as trouble-free as possible.